Hello, my name is Brian Casey. I'm editor-in-chief of AntMini.com, and we're here at the 2014 edition of the RSNA meeting in Chicago. We have with us right now the PACSman, Michael Cannavo. Mike, thanks for being with us today.
Brian, thanks for having me. It's always great to come back to Chicago.
Yeah, same here. So, Mike, you are the PACSman, and you've been trotting through the halls of McCormick Place here to see what's new and hot in PACS and imaging informatics. What have you seen that's interesting?
Actually, this is my 30th year, and PACS has come a long way in the past 30 years. Especially this year, it's different. PACS has become a commodity, and so now what we're doing is finding that the vendors need to go ahead and find different ways to market their products, and also have to find different ways to make money.
Okay. You wrote a column for us a week ago where you said that the era of kind of ripping your old PACS out and replacing it is gone away, and now sites are more interested in updates and upgrades. Can you expand on that a little bit?
The time of buying new PACS is gone. There used to be the PACS would last 5 years, at the very, very most 6. Now they're having to last 7, 8, sometimes 9 years. There is no money for new PACS, and frankly, a lot of times what happens is when they're looking at doing a new PACS, they're going ahead and staying with the existing vendor because of some of the challenges that go with changing vendors. So what we're looking at now is vendors are looking at upgrades to their existing PACS, but more importantly, adding things that add value to the PACS, like new applications. Dose management is one that is a very, very hot trend right now, sometimes advanced visualization, and looking at other things like critical results reporting, ED discrepancy reporting, peer review, and other modules.
Now, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see sites making when they're looking at trying to decide what to do with their existing PACS?
The biggest challenge is people base their decisions based on a budget as opposed to basing their decisions based on need. You need to really look at the needs, you need to understand your needs, you need to understand what you want, what you need, and what's going to help you be more productive.
Now, if you're a site where you feel like your PACS is coming to the end of its life cycle, what are some of the first steps that you would advise somebody to take to try to figure out what to do next?
Number one step I would do is get together with your information technology department as well as with the C-suites and see how the PACS is going to fit in with the long-term vision. Then sit back and do your planning accordingly and coordinate those efforts with the IT folks and with the C-suites to make sure that what you do from the future integrates with and becomes a part of the electronic health record.
Okay. Now, there's been a lot of talk recently in radiology about how radiology has kind of lost control of PACS and how control is moving over to the hospital IT department. How does that change the way radiology approaches PACS?
It's almost going to be considered blasphemous to make the statement, but the reality is that radiologists have a very small part in the decision-making process, and radiology has a much smaller part, a less than majority part at this point in time. The majority of the decision-making is being done by information technology folks, along with the C-suites, the CFO, the CIO, the CTO, and the like. Those two combined make up between 60 and 65% of the decision-making process. Radiology makes up about 25%, and radiologists make up 10% of that.
So how should radiology handle that? I mean, what should they do? Should they try to get some of that control back, or should they play along with the new system?
They have to play along with the new system. If you notice as you walk through the halls, the word enterprise is crucial. And what we need to do is to look at radiology as part of an enterprise, as part of an enterprise-wide solution. Okay. Right now, can't look at it as an island of automation as it has been in the past.
Okay. Anything in particular that you've seen here at RSNA 2014 that you found really interesting?
Probably the most interesting thing that I've seen is a number of the PACS vendors are entering the world of digital pathology with digital pathology systems. They're high ticket, high margin systems, and it's a way that they can go ahead and generate some revenue. Will it hit right now? The answer is probably not for a couple of years because something that large has to hit the budget cycle. But it's interesting when you look at PACS, which used to be just for radiology, you now have vendors offering PACS, radiology PACS, cardiology PACS. Now they're getting into digital pathology and they're getting into other areas and recognizing that it's all part of being the enterprise, that imaging itself is outside the world of just radiology. Just as a follow-on to that, when you look at VNAs, for example, vendor-neutral archives, there were actually more vendors of vendor-neutral archives at the HIMSS show than there are at the radiology show. So it's actually moving more toward the IT world.
Okay. What about some of the radiation dose tracking software that we're starting to see? Are there any trends there that you find interesting?
The biggest trend is that everyone is offering a dose management or dose tracking software right now. Currently, there are only 2 states that mandate it: Florida and Texas. However, California. It's what's happened when you live in Florida. California and Texas have mandated it, but many other states are coming on with it. Because it is mandated, it has to be a part of the system. Currently, right now, it only affects CTs. However, there is a discussion right now to expand it out to all different modalities, and that's really where the differences come between the systems, is looking at systems that just address CT versus systems that address a host of different modalities themselves. And that's the differential in price as well. You can get systems for as little as $15,000, $20,000 and those that'll be as much as 70, but it's where you go with them in the future.
That's right. Anything else interesting here?
Really not, other than what we've covered. Again, there's a high interest in VNAs. There is a high interest in medical image sharing to replace CDs. Currently, companies like Dicom Grid, Life Image, Nuance, obviously, since they bought Accelerad and others. Very important market to get into. So you have VNAs, you've got medical image sharing, you've got the add-on software and application software, and that's about it in terms of new and exciting.
Okay, great. Mike, thanks for being with us.
Brian, I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Signing off for AmpMini.com, my name is Brian Casey.